Namaskar, Vanakkam, Shashrikal, hello. Welcome to Aussie Indian. My name is Subhash. On this week's episode, we've got John Hargrave, the leading astrologist in Sydney. In our second segment, we've got Solidar Kirano, marketing campaign manager for Sydney Olympic Park Authority. And in our final segment, we've got Indian News Week and the latest gossip, glitz and glamour from Bollywood. Okay, in our first segment, we've got John Hargrave. Last week, we introduced a new segment called Know Your Stars, where John talked to us basics about astrology. Here he is talking to Raj again and demystifying astrology and making it simpler for us.
Yes, thanks Subhash. Yes, we had the introduction to John and astrology in our last segment. And John, welcome once again to Aussie Indian.
Thank you, Raj, very much indeed.
I'm sure our viewers watched the previous segment with a lot of interest, and if we can just touch on what we covered, your own background, of course, and of course, what is astrology. So if you can tell a couple of things about what was discussed, and we can take it from there.
Right. Well, thank you, Raj. And well, I've always loved astrology. I've always been drawn to it, and I've done a number of courses through the Faculty of Astrological Studies in the United Kingdom and through the Federation of Australian Astrologers here. And I've always felt that it works. And I've also been on some Sydney radio, done some of that, and written a short column. But what astrology is it's the study of the heavenly bodies upon human behaviour. And so basically astrology helps us to better understand ourselves and our members of our family, and therefore the members of the community, becoming a happier, more unified community. And that's what I really see the value of astrology being.
That's very good thoughts, John. And of course, we all talk about these star signs. Now, of course, for a layman like me, I don't understand what star signs are, and so do our viewers, I would imagine. So if you can just tell us briefly, what is a star sign?
Well, a star sign, Raj, is basically the sign in which the sun was placed on the day on which you were born. And so the sun goes through the 12 signs of the zodiac and a different sign each month. But astrology is more than just the sun sign, Raj, because astrology is also heavily influenced by the time of birth. And so you might be a particular star sign, but you're also going to be a rising sign. And of course, for those people born on the cusp, around the 20th to the 22nd of a month, they're perhaps not sure what sign they are, and they may go through their life wondering, well, if they're an Aries or a Pisces, depending on what time they were born. And so in their particular cases, they need to get their charts professionally calculated, in order to work out their sign.
Yeah, that's the perception I also had. If I may be admitting my ignorance here on astrology, but I always thought that if you are born on a particular day, let's say a particular day of April, you automatically you are influenced by the stars on that day, and you are an Aries, depending on the date you are born. And also the star sign that is applicable to Aries is applicable to me. Is that a proper way of identifying what your star sign is?
Yes, well, at a very basic level it is, Raj. But of course, many Aries people can be very different depending upon their time of birth. And we're going to look at this more in the next episode in the helping of people to better understand themselves. That yes, they may be an Aries, or they may be a Taurus, or they may be a Libran, but depending upon their time of birth, their chart will indicate a different sort of personality depending upon their time. And of course the moon will be in a different sign as well. But we'll be looking at this gradually through the upcoming weeks.
All right. And of course we say that there are, I think everyone knows that there are 12 star signs. Can you tell us how these 12 star signs came about?
Yes. Well, the 12 star signs are subdivided into the ancient elements of fire, earth, air and water. So we might take a walk through those elements.
Absolutely.
Raj. So beginning firstly with the fire signs, which are Aries and Leo and Sagittarius. And as the name implies, they are people who have a lot of energy. You notice bursts of enthusiasm with those signs. But like fire, it can burn out easily.
Right.
And so they often don't finish all those strong actions they commence. Their enthusiasm may burn out. Now we move on to the earth signs, the Taurus and the Virgo and the Capricorn. And as the name implies, they can be very down-to-earth people, very rock-solid people. They're more, they like routines. They're not risk-takers. They're practical, conservative, down-to-earth people. The next grouping is the air signs, Gemini, Libra and Aquarius, and they're the real thinkers, they're the real intellects of the zodiac. They analyse situations, however, intellectually rather than emotionally.
Right.
And that can be a little bit of a drawback at times, but they're very intelligent people. They love the new technologies. And the final grouping, Raj, are the water signs. That's the Cancer and the Scorpio and the Pisces. And as the name suggests, water is it's deep. They're more emotional people. They're very sympathetic to others, but in forming relationships, they can sometimes become easily hurt. So that's just a quick walk through the 12 signs and the grouping at that level.
Right, very interesting. Actually, I can now see that I am an Aries, and you are saying I belong to the fire sign. I have also looked at some of the other people who belong to earth and air and water.
Yes.
I can see that correlation there. And so is that all those 12 are born out of these 4 elements?
Yes, they are all born out of one of those 4 elements, and they're called the triplicities, Raj,
Right.
because there's 3 signs in each of those 4 groupings.
Okay, John, I'm sure people our viewers got a lot out of this. Now, star of the week, if you can tell us what are all the things that are in store this week for the various star signs.
Thank you, Raj. Well, the stars for the week commencing the 11th of April are Aries, a very busy week ahead with 4 planets in your first house. Take your time, don't rush to maximise results. Taurus, the sun in your 12th house, a great time to get in touch with your inner spirituality. Gemini, the moon in your 3rd house, midweek, a good opportunity for a short getaway and give yourself a break. Cancer, Jupiter and the sun currently in your 10th house of career. This is an opportune time to look for an advancement in your current work situation. Leo, with Mars in your 9th house of overseas travel this week, this is a good time to start making plans for a well-earned family holiday. Virgo, with the moon in your 2nd house of possessions and the sun and Jupiter in your 8th house of investments, this week is an opportune time to look at financial investments in housing. Libra, 4 planets in your 7th house of relationships. This is an opportune time to renew and to reinvigorate your marriage and love partnership. Scorpio, with Venus in your 5th house of creativity. This is a good time to express your artistic interests by joining an art class. Sagittarius, with the moon in angular opposition to planets in your chart around the 17th, 18th of April, you'll be feeling a little emotional, but this feeling will pass by the 20th. Capricorn, a strong planetary opportunity in your 4th house of home and family. This is a good time to step back a little from your own busy professional life and to make a little more contact with your family. Aquarius, a busy week ahead with communications with others with whom you may have lost touch. And Pisces, a week when you're likely to be thinking of spoiling yourself. A trip to the hairdresser and beautician, your looks are on your mind. And Raj, that's the stars for the week.
Fantastic. John, thanks very much for that. And I'll know what I can do, what I can expect for this week. I'm sure many of our viewers also have got some good news for them this week. And we are going to also ask them to write to us. Send us an email if you are lucky. We are going to take a lucky draw every week, and one lucky viewer is going to get a free consultation with John. And John has kindly offered that. And John, once again, thanks very much for coming on the show, and we will talk again next week.
My pleasure, Raj. Thanks for having me.
Interesting, isn't it? There's so many things I didn't know about astrology. It's all the heavenly bodies, everything lined up. It's just mind-boggling. Also, don't forget the free consultation with John. To qualify, all you need to do is send us your place, date, time of birth at info@ausindian.com.au, and you could be that lucky viewer to win the free consultation with John.